Hello, hello. I've got bubbles coming out of my mouth. Isn't that pretty cool? I needed to go something fun and light today. Look at the little fishies. Isn't that cool? I've just had one of those mornings. I've been in tears most of the morning, actually for the last few days. Our puppy got run over on the weekend and yeah, anyway, that's a different story. I just needed something sort of light and funny today, because what we are talking about is Facebook Lives, and this is one of the things that you can do with your Facebook Lives. So not to distract you, I'm just going to turn this back to normal, and I'll tell you how to do this in a second. But there is so many things you can do with Facebook Lives these days. You might as well utilize them. It just, it's something a little bit different. You don't have to be boring all the time. So yesterday I jumped on and talked about, do you really need to do Facebook Lives? Are they really necessary in growing your business? So if you missed that, go back to yesterday and watch that Facebook Live. And I said yesterday that I was going to jump back on today and talk about, how do you really sort of structure a Facebook Live and use them sort of properly and use them to your advantage with, growing your business. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, for those of you that have not met me or been on a live with me before, please say hello. Tell me where you're coming in from down in the comments section below. I do like to go back after and say hello to people. And if you're not new to me, maybe you're on the replay, just say replay and, comment where you're coming in from, as well. It's awesome to be here today to talk about Facebook Lives, because this is really something that you can really sort of utilize to your advantage to build a following, to attract leads, to even attract sales, like all the stuff that I spoke about yesterday in relation to why you would want to do a Facebook Live. That's all really important. So as I said before, if you missed that, just go back to yesterday's live and work out why you want to do the Facebook Lives. But now we sort of get on to, the how. So I just want to give you a bit of structure and a bit of insight as to how you can structure them properly to use them to your advantage. Hey Whit, how are you today? Great to see you on live. Hope you're having an awesome day. So the one thing that I would like to share with you first is just put a little bit of preparation into it. So, generally when you're first doing Facebook Lives, you'll do that anyway because you're too scared of making a mistake, or you're too scared of saying something wrong. And I will say, from my experience, one of the things I did initially is I probably prepared a little bit too much. I mentioned this yesterday in that I wrote heaps of notes about what I was going to talk about, and I would advise that you do that. But then I would try and memorize it all because I was really keen to look like the conversation was flowing and that I knew what I was talking about and that it seemed all sort of really natural. But really, I got over that fairly quickly because there's a lot of gurus that I listen to that will actually say the topic that they're talking about for their Facebook Live and just say, I've just got some notes here to make sure that I don't miss any of the content, and away they go. Like, what does it matter? So yes, prepare for your Facebook Lives, but don't overdo it because you'll end up wasting a little bit of energy and time on preparing too much. But what you do want it to do is put some structure. What are you going to talk about? Now, there alone, what are you going to talk about is really important to start with. So why does your page exist? Now, you might be doing Facebook Lives on a personal Facebook page. If you are, I wouldn't necessarily advise that you talk about your business in detail or the products that you've got, on offer. That's a whole different topic of training. But if you've listened to a lot of my trainings sort of previously, you'll know that self-branding is what's important. You don't want to push your products out on people, particularly through a Facebook Live. So if you're not sure about, the attraction marketing piece or branding yourself properly, then hey Elizabeth, nice to see you. Thanks for watching. If you're not sure about that side of it, then go to my website, www.helenmartinonline.com. I've got 2 video libraries. One of those is a mindset video library and one of those is a network marketing training video library. So you can have a look at some previous trainings on that. The other thing, I have got a link listed above. I've got something brand new that I am bringing to you for free, and that's a free video series on how to make sense of building your business online. So if you're not sure whether you should be using a personal page or a business page, and you know everything that goes along with that, you've heard about this piece called attraction marketing, but you don't really know much about it, just go and access that free video series, because I break it down for you and I just sort of explain to you what it all means and how you can go about it. So take advantage of that. But let's get back to our sort of Facebook Live. So you're thinking about, you know, the topic. So on a personal Facebook page, just utilize Facebook Lives as people getting to know you, that you're fun, you're interesting. You may cook something and show it. You may do a recipe of some sort. You might be out and about. So just use it for personal branding reasons, not business branding, just personal branding. But if you're using Facebook Lives to build your business on a business page, so a self-branded sort of Facebook page, how are you going to structure it? So first, your topic. What are you going to talk about? Talk about mainly, not all the time, but mainly, what have you branded yourself as? So if you've branded yourself as an expert in health and wellness, then talk about health. If you've branded yourself as helping other people build a business online, like I do, then talk about topics that'll actually help people do that. That doesn't mean to say you can't jump on every now and again and let people know what's happening in your life. Just do a Facebook Live about anything and everything, because that lets people know who you are. It can't, as my mentor pointed out to me this morning, I've had a marathon call with one of my mentors this morning, and there's been tears and frustration and strategy and all sorts of things going on. But she reminded me that it doesn't all have to be business. Like, let people connect with you as a person. So you can still do that on some Facebook Lives, but majority of the time your page is there for a reason. So talk about what it is that you've told people that you are going to talk about. Now, last week I did a Facebook Live on the exposure of Facebook Lives, and be careful what you're talking about. So if you missed that Facebook Live, just go down the feed a little bit or to my website, the library, the video library, and go and find that one regarding what you're talking about and why the content is actually sort of really important. So as to your heading, you're talking about what it is that your audience is there for. So what does your audience need? So think about it, not necessarily what you think people want. What's your platform? What are you there for? What are their needs? And talk about those things. Just generally, spit it out, generally help people. Help people with whatever it is that you said you're going to help with. So before you start your Facebook Live, you've got your topic, you've prepared some notes, make sure, your lighting, your sound. This is where I'm going to contradict myself, because I would always advise you that the sun should be in front of you and not behind you when you're doing a Facebook Live. So at the moment, you know that I'm sitting, this is the window. you can see the reflection of the light that I've got on me, which is not a fantastic light. But if I didn't have this light on me, you actually wouldn't be able to see me at all. So make sure people can see your face. Make sure if you need some lighting, do that again without the light. The reason why that's that bad is because the sun is behind me. So wherever you position yourself, I know that's hypocritical because I'm doing it opposite, but that's why I've got a light in front of me. So if you're not in a position where the sun can be in front of you, then have some kind of, lighting of some sort. So that's really important, that people can see you and that people can hear you. You will notice on a lot of Facebook Lives, somebody will say, if anyone's on live, can you just send, drop down below that you can hear me so that you can hear me and see me okay, and people will seek clarification for that. I actually watched a Facebook Live yesterday, or I went to watch a Facebook Live yesterday, and I don't know what they did with their volume, or it looked like they were standing close to the camera, but I turned my volume way up and I still couldn't hear them. Something was wrong with their volume, so I switched off. I couldn't hear it. So whatever valuable content they had to say yesterday, I've completely missed because I couldn't hear what they were saying. So make sure that your lighting and your sound, people will turn off for those kind of reasons. What's most important is what you're talking about. So if things aren't perfect, if your lighting is not perfect, my lighting is not perfect. I admit that. I admit that often on my Facebook Lives. But as long as my content is valuable and people can see me, like if I was sitting there like that, that would be really hard for you to watch. So just preparation, just put a little bit of preparation into where you're standing, your lighting, your sound, things like that. If you are outside and wind is a variable, put your earphones in so your microphone's there. So don't be afraid of having earphones in. Lots of people do Facebook Lives even when they're inside and they have, the earphones in. It's great because your volume is sort of right there. So definitely when you're outside, watch the wind, because there's nothing worse than the wind coming in and not being able to sort of hear what somebody's trying to say. And try to stay on topic. We're human, we go off topic. I do this, other people do that, but try to stay on topic and keep it concise. I would recommend that when you're first starting out with Facebook Lives, try to keep them a little bit shorter. When you've got more of an audience, you've got more value to bring, you can go more in depth with things and people are used to hearing what you have to say, then you can afford to go a little bit longer. And according to Facebook algorithms, if you can stay on a Facebook Live to 15 to 20 minutes, then you're going to capture more of an audience than if you're only on for 5 to 10 minutes. So when you get to that stage, but initially you're trying to attract people's attention. You're trying to get people to get to know who you are, what you're going to talk about. So you don't want to drag on forever with something that's not interesting to them. So make them a little bit shorter until you've got, an audience of some sort and that they're willing to stick with you and listen to what you have to say. The one key thing I would say with a Facebook Live is don't try to be anybody you're not. Don't try to be somebody that you think people want you to be. Don't try to portray yourself as an expert when you are not. Don't try to be happy and awesome and make out that everything's wonderful, when it's not. Like I just first got on this Facebook Live and admitted that I've been crying, on my mentorship session with my mentor this morning. I've been crying most of the weekend because our puppy got accidentally run over and it's been awful for our family and our children. I'm not going to hide that. I'm human. I have bad days. So don't try to think you have to be perfect on a Facebook Live because that's not real. That's not life. When you're authentic and you're real, that's when people will connect with you more. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to tell people how you're feeling because it just makes you human. We're all human. So be you. That's really, really important. Does this make sense so far? If this is making sense, please send me some likes and loves that you're getting, the value out of what I'm talking about so far. So now I just want to give you a bit of structure, and yes, I have notes. So the heading. So when you first turn on your Facebook Live, you're obviously going to go to the live button. So you push that first. So if you are brand new to Facebook Live, this might help. So you go to your page, you press the live button, and then you've got the opportunity to put the heading in. So try to put, thank you, Elizabeth, I appreciate that. Try to put something in the heading that's going to capture people's attention. And it could be something like 3 tips to do X without Y. Or 5 strategies to XYZ, like something that's going to be interesting to people, or, you wouldn't believe this, or, something really important I've got to talk to people about today, like I'm just making stuff up now, but with your heading, try to keep it short, concise, but something that's going to grab people's attention, because if they see the heading and it doesn't resonate with them, then they're certainly not going to watch the live. So put some thought into your heading and make it attention grabbing. Now, then you go, so you put your heading in there, then you've got the opportunity to choose some graphics if you want to. They're there to use, they're fun, they're interesting. So before you press the live button, there's a whole lot of little icons down the bottom, and there's a little one that looks like a wand. So press that wand, and all these little graphics will come up, like graphics that I had when I first came on this Facebook Live. So choose a graphic and you can start with that and grabs people's attention that way. But when you've gone live, so you've got your graphic there, you've got your heading there, you push live, you can very quickly just go back and turn that graphic off. So you're not stuck with it your entire life. So that's sort of how you're going to set yourself up to start with. Then talk about initially when you say hello, it's Helen here from HelenMartinOnline.com, and today I'm going to talk about whatever the heading is. Do that first. Don't waffle on in the beginning about things that are unrelated to what you're talking about, because you've literally got seconds to grab somebody's attention. It also gives the person the opportunity whether they want to watch this Facebook Live or not. So Hi, it's Helen here from HelenMartinOnline.com, and today I want to talk to you about, the structure of a Facebook Live and how that can help you grow your business. So in the first sort of seconds of me being live, people know what I'm going to talk about. That's really important because people will stick around if they're interested in what you're going to talk about. If you go, oh, hi, it's, Helen from HelenMartinOnline.com. How you going today? I'll just sit around and wait for some people to jump on. And that actually really annoys me. And I've seen some great gurus still do this. They sit around and wait for people to jump on. So the people that have jumped on immediately, they keep them waiting. People mainly catch the replay with a live. Not many people will catch you live. It'll be mainly the people that are catching the replay. So don't sit there and wait for people to jump on. Just start talking, do your introduction, and if they miss the beginning part, for somebody that jumps on later, then they can go back and watch the beginning at their leisure. So just get straight into topic, then introduce yourself. So that's where you talk about your topic, get somebody's attention. Yep, they want to listen to that particular thing. And then you go, for those that haven't met me before or connected with me before, or this is the first time you're in a live with me. Yes, my name is Helen from HelenMartinOnline.com, and predominantly what I do is help home-based business owners bring their business on. So I just give a little introduction about me. Then I'm going to go back straight into the content of what I've discussed that I'm going to talk about. So your heading is important. Put some graphics on it if you want to. Mention what you're going to talk about first after you've said hello, and then go into the introduction. Ask for engagement. So when you're saying, for those of you that are hopping on for the first time, yes, it's me, Helen Martin, this is what I do, etc. If we are connecting for the first time, just drop your comment below where you're coming in from, because I like to connect with you afterwards. Ask for engagement. Ask questions. As you go through, you can say things like, does that resonate with you? Drop a 1 below. Or have you ever felt that before? Drop a 2 below if that's you. Or if you'd like some more information on XYZ, just drop a 3 below and I'll get back to you after the live. So ask for engagement during your Facebook Live. So you're keeping that interaction and the engagement. So when your live's over, you've got the opportunity to go back and say, thank you for your comment. Thank you for listening. Awesome to see you here. Thanks for your comment. I'll send you a private message on XYZ. So ask for engagement during your Facebook Live. Like I'll often say, is this making sense to you? Do you agree with me? Send me some likes and loves if this is resonating with you, because you could talk for ages and nobody's really connecting with your message. You want to know that people are hearing you, listening to you, connecting with you. So ask for that engagement, along the way. At the end of it, if you've got a call to action to give, ask for it. So if you've got a freebie, then, at the end of your Facebook Live, put that call to action at the end. So I've got a freebie for you. I've got some free training for you. Just click on the link above and you'll get access to XYZ. Or if you want to direct somebody to somewhere, like if you'd like more information, go to my website, which is XYZ. If you have a website, you might not have anything. You might just be jumping on and doing a Facebook Live. So you can invite somebody for a call to action to message you. If you'd like to know more information about what I talked today, just send me a message. On my Facebook page here, there's a send message button. Just send me a message and connect with me and I'll be happy to talk to you more. So ask for a call to action if there's, something to call for at the end of your Facebook Live. Now, once you've finished your Facebook Live and you press send, then it's going to ask you if you want to keep it and post it. So don't accidentally delete it, if you want to keep it. So it just gives you a couple of checks. If you've really, really stuffed up, you hated everything you said, you don't want that to be recorded and on Facebook Live forever, then you do have the opportunity to delete it straight away. You can even choose, when you do a Facebook Live, there's next to your name, there's a little button that you can choose who your Facebook Live is going to. You can actually pull that button down and I think it says something like me only. So do a Facebook Live to you only and test it. So you can drop down that little button, it goes me only, and you actually go live. You choose your graphics, you talk about it, you go live, but you're actually only going live to you. and then you can delete it afterwards. So that's a really good way to test a Facebook Live if you want to do a test before you go live, to your audience or, to your fans, to your friends, your family, etc. So there's another little tip for you as to sort of how to test it. Then after a Facebook Live, analyze what's working. I go back through my Facebook Lives and it's amazing to me what resonates with people. I'll talk about something and it'll get 500, 600, 700 organic views, and it's, something that's been interesting to people. I'll talk about something else and it'll only get 200 or 300 views. So depending on what you're talking about, people will resonate with more. The more you do this, the more you'll get a feel for what people want to learn from you about. So I'm getting a really good sense from my Facebook Lives, which ones are popular and which ones are not, as to what people want to listen to. Now, if you've got a really good Facebook Live that's had a few hundred views, if you've got that many people watching you, you're not going to start there. And as far as your expectation goes, if you're just starting out with Facebook Live, no one might be listening. No one. Or one person or two people, and then they might start listening and then they drop off. And you're like, oh, why did they drop off my Facebook Live? People are busy. People don't have time. The longer you talk, the less time, attention span that they have if they're busy. So don't get caught up in the fact that people are not listening when you first start Facebook Lives. Majority of people will catch the replay. And this takes time. Growing an audience takes time. So don't think you're failing because no one's there. Don't think you're failing or you're not having an impact because no one's there watching. Most people will catch the replay. I'll also, not many people may comment. Doesn't mean people are listening. I know there are lots of people watching my Facebook Lives that have nothing to do with, you don't want to know anything about building a business online, but they're still watching. They might be interested in mindset or something like that. They'll never comment. They'll never say hello, but there's always a lot of people watching. So don't worry about who is and who isn't watching. Your job here is to turn up and give value. Turn up and give value, and your audience will grow. And the more you talk about what you say you're going to talk about on your page, you will attract the right people to you. The last thing you want to do with Facebook Lives is start talking about a whole lot of things but what you said you'd talk about, and you're attracting a whole different audience to what it is that you want to attract. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, drop me the number 2 below. And that is so critically important, because you could do a lot of Facebook Lives and talk about a lot of things, but if it's not connecting with your perfect audience, then it's not going to help you get sales. It's not going to help you build your business. So it's not going to help you grow your business in the way that you're doing. The whole purpose of doing Facebook Lives is for. Okay? So analyze what's working after you've done your Facebook Lives, and if you've got a really good one, boost it. Press that little boost button and boost it for $5. Boost it for 10, boost it for 15. So if you know that something's resonating with something, go, oh, that was a really popular Facebook Live, then throw $5 at it and send it out to the audience that you want to send it out to. You have those choices when you get to choose a boosted audience. You get to choose whether you just want to send it to the people on your own page. You get to choose, excuse me, can't help sneezing. That's something that you can't stop on a Facebook Live. You get to choose who you want to send that out to. So leverage the Facebook Live, throw a few dollars at it and get more people to watch it. What you can do with the audience that watches a Facebook Live then gets exciting. When you move into advertising and you move into building your business more online, then you can retarget everybody that's watched a Facebook Live and engaged with you. I'm not going to go into detail with that today, but doing Facebook Lives helps you to build an audience, and you can leverage that audience by retargeting the people that have watched a Facebook Lives because they're already engaging with you. So there's so much more potential than you even realize for being brave enough to put your face in front of a Facebook Live and pressing that little live button. So the fastest way you can grow an audience, the fastest way you can get people engaged into you, the fastest way that you can grow your influence and authority online is by Facebook Lives. And remember, if you're absolutely petrified, there's 2 things that you can do. Pre-record a video and upload it. but you're not going to get the much exposure. Like Facebook Lives will give you minimum 3 times, if not more, exposure than an uploaded video would be. The other thing you can do is what I mentioned before, by pulling down that little tab next to your name before you go live and just do me only. And do a Facebook Live to you only. Just get the feel for doing a Facebook Live. The little live button in the corner, the graphics. See how it all works and fits before you actually do your very first live to the public or to your, friends and family. So I hope that's helpful. If that's, that's just the basics of doing a Facebook Live. But seriously, if you want to grow your presence online, you want to build your business online, then Facebook Lives is the way to go. So just start. Be brave enough to start. Now, the other thing I just want to mention is how many should you do? The more the better. If you can do them every day, do them every day, but don't just do them for the sake of doing them. You've got to have interesting topics. So what I did in the beginning is I only did 2 Facebook Lives a week, but I would boost them. So I would do 2 Facebook Lives, I'd put $5 or $10 to it to get it out to a wider audience. Whereas I could have done 5 Facebook Lives a week and not spent a cent and just relied on that organic exposure. So there's your 2 choices. You can do less and boost them to get them out to more people, or you can do more and just, free strategy and rely on that organic engagement. And ask people to like, comment and share. If you found value out of this Facebook Live, please share it. If there's other people that you know that would get value out of this video, please tag them or share it. Like, ask for that actual engagement. If you agree with me, comment below. If you got value from this Facebook Live, please tell me below. Ask for that engagement and start building your audience, start building your tribe so you can start building a really good business online. So I hope that information is helpful to you if you're starting out with Facebook Lives and you've got no idea where to start. Hopefully that's given you a bit of a structure and insight as to how you can do it and how you can set it up properly. So if that was of value to you, please comment below and let me know. But other than that, I hope you have an awesome rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow for just some more in-depth strategies about Facebook Lives and where you can take it and what you can do with it. So I'll see you tomorrow.